Welcome back, guys. So today I'm going to share with you a super easy but delicious Christmas morning recipe. This is actually what we're going to be making this year for Christmas. So we are making cream cheese French toast with a candied bacon and pecan topping. It is absolutely delicious. As you know, this is going to be my first Christmas as a mom and I'm really excited. So this whole video was inspired by that and also by Sebastian's very first Hallmark keepsake ornament, which I'm super excited to share with you guys. I'm going to be opening it on camera with you. I have really fond memories of Christmas morning and it's something that I wanted to pass on to Sebastian. I remember growing up in Panama, my abuelita would do all the cooking and all my aunts and uncles would come out and they would bring their kids and it was always a really full house. You could smell the breakfast in the air and it was just a really happy time. So let's go ahead and open this. I have so many fun things that I envision us doing for Christmas morning and Christmas Eve, which I will share in a future video with you guys. One thing I remember is my abuelita was in the kitchen all morning. So we got to see very little of her and I wish that she would have been there with us opening gifts and things like that. So that's why I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a casserole. So you basically do all of the work the night before and then the morning up, all you have to do is pop it in the oven. So you're still gonna get that delicious like breakfast aroma, but you don't miss out on any of the other festivities with the rest of your family. So that's kind of like how I envision my Christmas morning going. And honestly, I don't know how it's gonna go. It's gonna be my first year. So here is the ornament and look how cute it is. So this is the 2018 Love's Journey Begins Baby's First Christmas and there is a little spot in it to put his picture and it's just simply adorable. So this is Sebastian's first Hallmark keepsake ornament. You guys know I've been partnered with them for their Care Enough campaign, which encourages people to do small acts of kindness every day. So if you guys are interested in this ornament or any of their other ornaments, I will have a link down below where you guys can check it out. Let me know down in the comments if you guys are also celebrating your first Christmas as a newlywed or maybe as a mom, whatever it is, I want to know. Let me know down in the comments. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into today's recipe. So I am going to start off with either some brioche or like a Challah bread. You guys correct me if I'm saying that wrong. I have no idea how to pronounce that. So I'm going to take my bread and I'm just going to be cutting that into some about 1-inch cubes. So I'm just going to start by making slices. And this is so easy to make, you guys. Feel free to use your own French toast recipe if you have one. I've shared with you guys one in the past where I like to make it with ice cream. If you guys like that recipe, you can use that for this as well. Before you add your bread to your pan, just make sure to put a good layer of butter on that pan so nothing sticks. And I usually just like to put the butter on like a piece of paper towel and then just use that to evenly distribute it throughout the entire pan. Okay, so now let's move on to making the mixture. I'm going to add my eggs first. Next, we're gonna add our cream. I'm using half and half for this. I like the combination of milk and cream. I find it just gives it the perfect consistency. I'm gonna add some brown sugar. Just make sure it's lightly packed. You don't wanna pack it in there because then your measurements are gonna be a little bit off. Also gonna do some vanilla extract. I'm gonna add about half a teaspoon of pumpkin spice. And then I'm gonna add a full teaspoon of cinnamon because I want this to be super cinnamony. You guys know how I feel about my cinnamon. Guys, I like a lot of cinnamon, so we're just gonna throw the whole jar in there. Just kidding, it's almost empty. And now we whisk. By the way, while you're doing all of this, don't forget to have your cream cheese sitting out so it's nice and room temperature. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start pouring this mixture on top of the bread. Just try to get it as good as you can in there. Try to get it in the pan and not all over your counter. Now you just want to kind of gently press down on it to make sure that all of that bread soaks up all of that yummy goodness. So what takes this French toast over the top is cream cheese and then the topping that I'm going to show you guys how to make. The topping has bacon, pecans, panko, and then also a little bit of, well, a lot of it, of brown sugar, and it's gonna caramelize and give it that super crispy crust, and it's gonna be absolutely delicious. Okay, so now we're going to add the cream cheese. I lay one piece down, kind of just as big as my, my baking pan is. I'm gonna lay that down, and I'm going to add my cream cheese, just kind of like in the middle, because you want to give it a little bit of room to work with. And then you're gonna take a second piece and just lay that on top. I do not have a rolling pin, so I'm going to be using a mason jar. So all you're gonna do is just start to lightly press down until you have the cream cheese super flat. So I would say if you could get it like 1/2 inch flat, that would be great. Just press it, keep pressing until all of the pieces kind of unite. You can even just like finish it off with your fingers if you need to. Just like make sure that you have all those edges. Now we're just gonna peel that. And we're going to grab it and just place that on top of the casserole. Bloop. Press that in there as good as you can. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the refrigerator. So for the topping, we're gonna cook some bacon on the stovetop until it is nice and crispy. Once it is nice and crispy, we're gonna remove it. So the bacon grease is gonna be taking the place of the butter for this topping. So we're just gonna add our panko crumbs, make sure that they're nice and brown, then turn the stove off. We're gonna add pecans and also some brown sugar. And I'm just kind of smashing it up to get it kind of in like a breadcrumb consistency. I do want some of those pecans to be a little bit chunkier, but for the most part, I want it to be nice and like breadcrumby. Then I'm just gonna chop up my bacon, add that to my mixture, and set that aside. Now I can just put this in the refrigerator, cover it up, and then the next morning when it's time to assemble it, I just put the topping on top of the casserole and I pop that in the oven. Hey guys, it's the next morning and I figured I'd just pop in and show you guys how I assemble the casserole and how I cook it in the oven and all that. So I have my casserole that has been sitting in the fridge overnight. I have my topping right here and I have the oven preheating at 350 degrees right now. So you definitely want to let your casserole kind of come down to room temperature. So just take it out for like 20 to 30 minutes before you put it in the oven. So we are going to go ahead. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. So we're just removing that wrapper. So you can see the cream cheese stayed nicely on top of that casserole, and you can see the bread in there and all that. Oh, it smells good. It kind of smells like a Cinnabon. Yesterday, right after I made this crumble, it was nice and fresh. My husband and I were just sitting there eating it by itself, which is so bad. But this is going to just crisp up so nicely in the oven. So I'm just kind of laying that on top. This is also one of those dishes that's really good to take to like a company party or like a Christmas party. It's just gonna be a huge hit. It's super easy to transport. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this in the oven for about 50 minutes. Definitely set a timer so you don't forget. You guys, I wish you could smell my kitchen right now. It smells so good. So it has been about an hour since the casserole's been cooking. I did have to put it back in the oven for another like 10 minutes. I need to give you guys a close-up of this. Do you guys see how the texture is almost like bread pudding? So it's a little bit softer than your traditional French toast. You gotta get a super even bite with some of that bacon, pecans. Excuse me. Amazing. You have the sweetness from the French toast, and then the cream cheese just balances everything out, and then you have that salty crunch from the bacon and the panko. But I have to say that the best part about this recipe is the fact that I get to spend all of the Christmas morning with the people that matter instead of in the kitchen all morning. Don't forget to check out the Hallmark keepsake ornament. I will have the link down below. I hope you guys give the recipe a try. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye. Who woke up just in time? And say bye-bye.
It was the night before Christmas.